Oh, hello there, everyone. Hope you had a great week so far. Streamer Mind here as usual, and today we're going to see if we can beat Elden Ring on a what's so-called easy mode. Obviously we can. The title says easy, so it's probably going to be easy. The rules of this run are simple. Find the most broken Ashes of War and incantation of the game and use it until we beat the main quest. Summons are only allowed if provided by the game before the boss fight, so there won't be any spirit ashes today. The run is already noob proof and I am a filthy casual after all, so I feel like using spirit ashes is kind of unnecessary, but feel free to use them in your run if you encounter any trouble. Alright, without wasting any more time, let's begin our journey. Samurai as a starting class, Golden Seed as a gift, and let's make ourselves look absolutely beautiful. Perfect! So after waking up in the Chapel of Anticipation, I proceeded to defeat Grafted Seed. You know what? Jumping off a cliff seems much more fun. 3 days later, I came back to life like Jesus Christ. I skipped the tutorial because I am too afraid of what is down there and welcomed myself into the wilderness of the lands between. There was a lot of preparation to do, so firstly I went to get Tarin, and in the process I had a lovely chat with a strange lady with a dead eye and weird magic powers. She was so kind that she gifted me our trusty magical steed, which I used to run past everything, picked up some cash from the ATM while I was on my way to the Third Church of America, where I touched grass for the second time in my life and I got myself a psychic flask. There was a strange teleport hidden in the bushes and I decided to take it and travel to a rainy and foggy place, sort of like northern Italy. I don't know if I've ever been. I paid a little visit to this big dragon and got filthy rich for doing so, and then arrived to kill it, where I decided to stop in this cute hotel called Church of Play. Truly a cozy name. The next morning I rode for miles and miles to the isolated merchant's shack, from which I then proceeded to go and get my weapon of choice for the run, the Great Sword. Now it was only a matter of getting my Ash of War and upgrade my weapon as much as I could before fighting Margit. So I pulled out my bow and headshot an invisible scarab walking by. Chances are that this guy dropped the Flame of the Red Manes, which is arguably one of the most broken things in the game, as it completely obliterates enemy poise. Once I had the two pieces of the puzzle, I traveled to Round Table Hold and applied the flame on my greatsword. It was now time to get some upgrades, so I decided that it was probably best to go to Leyndell of the Lakes and kill the Crystallian to get the first Minor Well bearing. Jesus, I hate these fucking names. For unlimited smithing stones 1, 2, and 3. Here's a montage of what I did. Easy peasy extra breezy, as my mother would say. But my journey for immense power was not over yet, as I would have to go to Altus Plateau and get the second Miner's Bell Bearing to upgrade my weapon to plus 12. So, you guys don't mind another montage with another similar song, right? I knew you would enjoy it, so here it is.
Test your might.
Okay, so now that I got my weapon upgraded to plus 12, there was one last place I needed to go. Mount Gelmir, to pick up the Fire Scorpion charm for extra fire damage, and once I finally got it, it was time to go back to Caelid. Listen, I know, the preparation for the run is pretty long, so I'm just going to fast forward it for you guys. Killing the Butchered Avatar provides you the Fire Shrouding crack tier, which increases fire damage and stacks with the Scorpion charm we picked up earlier. Okay, mind, can you fight Margit now? Well, no, dear imaginary voice of an imaginary subscriber that doesn't exist. By the way, please subscribe. We still got some upgrade materials to grab. I used the Tree Sentinel to test my damage, and though it wasn't bad at all, I just wanted more power.
I want more.
So I went to Zelda Crystal Tunnel and picked up some Smithing Stones 5. It was then time to get some runes so I could upgrade my weapon, and you know the drill on this one. Here's a short montage for your enjoyment. Alright, now that we are finally ready, we can go and clap Margit's cheeks just like we know how to. Margit, what a joke! Well, I was OP as hell at this point, but anyway, immediately after Margit, I went straight to Godrick to show him the difference between a real lord and him. Needless to say, he went down as easily as Margit, and I now understand why he's such an embarrassment. Anyway, enjoy the fight. So once Godrick was defeated, I also had to go and pay a little visit to his long lost brother in order to get the Godfrey icon, and once this task was completed, I traveled back to Leyndell to kill Rennala. After speeding through Raya Lucaria to pet a nice doggy, I got to Rennala's fight, where since my vigor was kind of, well, shit, I had a few issues with her. Nothing too hard. After a few tries, I tamed the mighty sorceress anyway, so here are the highlights for you to see. Actually, there are no highlights, because the fight was so short that I couldn't even get some footage that looked cool. At this point, I knew I was kind of underleveled for Radagon, or at least my vigor was. But I wanted to give him a try anyway, and yeah, I was actually right. I was definitely underleveled for him, and I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided that my next step would be Leyndell. But before any of this, I decided to pay a little visit to the fully grown Fallingstar Beast, and I have to say, this was one of the most satisfying and fun fights I had in the entire run, so I'll leave it in its entirety for you guys to enjoy. The mighty beast was so impressed by my skills that it decided to drop for me some important upgrade materials. So thank you for that. I, on my part, was so enchanted by the experience that I wanted to fight the exact same boss twice, in like 10 minutes. So I could get even more upgrade materials. I needed one more item from Melgelmir, so I picked up any sort of enjoyment that I had for life, and I defeated the ulcerated tree spirit, which drops the cerulean hidden tear, and we all know what this does, so there's no point in explaining it. At this point, I was ready to face the draconic tree sentinel and entering the capital. I know, I died to Godfrey. Yes, you can stop laughing now. Anyway, moving on. Margit gave me a few issues here and there. He has some deadly attacks, But after a few tries I was able to find the correct windows in order to attack him safely, and as it turns out, this fight wasn't half bad. It actually went really smoothly. So here it is for you to enjoy. This thing is so damn broken. Once Margit was defeated, I headed my way to the mountain tops where I picked up some smithing stone 7s and the miner's bell bearing number 3. I upgraded my weapon and got to the first Church of Marika. Not in this exact chronological order, but you get the gist, don't you? I then speeded through the area like everybody usually does in order to get to the fire giant as quickly as possible. And allow me to say this, fuck the fire giant. I don't know why, but in this run, this boss is the one that gave me the most trouble. So after dying like a billion times, I decided to go back to the Radagon fight, summoned all my best friends, and took the mighty general down in order to get some runes and to gain access to Nokstella. I'm not gonna show too much of the fight because I used summons like a filthy casual, and also the video is already long as it is. Anyway, I also killed Alexander in the process, and just to get the Jar Shard Talisman. I then went to Nokron, grabbed a few larval tears in order to respec, killed myself in the process to get the silver tear mask because I had a plan for the fire giant. It's called easy mode in the video, right? So let's just make it easy. I respec my stats in order to be able to use the rotten breath and unleashed it onto my fucking mortal enemy. And wouldn't you know, with this strategy, I actually got him on my second try. So here's how it went. Alright, now that we defeated Fire Giant, it was now time to set fire to the world. So wait, do you hear that? Do you hear that strange music building up? Oh, I think I know what's next. Are you guys ready? Alright, go on then. Godskin Duo can go suck a fat one for all that I'm concerned. Fortunately, there is a summon outside the fog gate, so you don't have to suffer. Just call Rennala for help and everything will be fine. The final part of Elden Ring is just one boss after the other. So obviously after Godskin Duo we have Maliketh. Fortunately, Flame of the Red Mains is completely broken in this fight. It makes it so easy, even a toddler can probably kill him without having any trouble at all. After touching the dirty tampon, I was teleported to Leyndell, capital of... Oh my god, what the fuck happened to this place? I leave for a couple of hours and shit just goes down the drain. Anyway, after absolutely having no trouble at all with Ofnir, I said, after not having any trouble at all with Ofnir. God damn it, who wrote this script? It was finally time for the second most fun fight of the run. Godfrey is an absolute Chad, we all know this, and though he kicked my butt a few times, I just loved this fight so much I was actually happy to fight him again each time. This is how the fight turned out. The mighty warrior was put down and there were only 2 obstacles on my way. Reddy and Beastie Boy were no problem at all as I fought them like 600 times each on my soul level 1 run, and I know the fight by heart at this point, so I only died a couple of times because of lazy play. The fight itself though was super satisfying, especially Radagon because he can spell parry, and finding the right timing was actually super fun. Here it is in all of its glory. I was now Elden Lord, and I have beaten the game on what we can call easy mode, and yeah, apart from Fire Giant due to my stubbornness, this was pretty easy. So if you feel like these games are too challenging and this intimidates you, just know that there are broken mechanics that you can abuse in order to brute force your way out of sticky situation, just like I did. This is my message of the day, and I would like to thank all of you that remained all the way to the end of the video, and I would like to ask you one last thing. If you could like, comment, and smash that subs. I don't have a lot of time to work on videos with my job getting in the way, but I do put a lot of effort in them, even though sometimes it might not seem like it. So I would appreciate it if you could also tell me what you think in the comments and give me some feedback. I think we're done for today, so I will see you next time, but be sure to be on the watch for my next video where we are going to attempt beating this game as Super Mario. Also go follow me on Twitch where I stream all of my challenge runs, and I now am finally done. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.